So if everyone is able to see my screen, we can start.
I can see it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So in this session, we will review like day by day management. You have an application, where to look, what type of events you will see, basically to distinguish the events and to be able to easily manage the product. So we have our machine already enrolled. It's present under the name test3. The profile associated with this machine is this profile. The only thing that I have added, because this is a security level 2, I have enabled the CMD in order to review the CMD commands and CMD scripts. This is because the application that I have created, it's just sending CMD commands in order to show this behavior. So let's confirm that we have these settings on the machine itself, and we can start. First of all, here it is. As you can see, it's enabled. Let's see how the machine will behave when you have the script analysis enabled. And if we are looking also inside of the profile, we are seeing heaps with the block request. So let's go back. We are opening our application. It's an unsigned. I didn't sign it, so it's just an app. So the goal is to send a command. So this application is sending a CMD command. Let's see what will happen. As you can see, it's blocked. Now, who is blocking this application, you will ask? The easiest way. So it's not the application that is blocked. As you can see, it was opened. The action of the application was blocked. So let's view the logs. As you can see, the one that has blocked the application is the heaps module. So from these examples, please remember heaps is not about the application itself. So the trust, it's about the action, what is trying the application to do. In my case, in this case, was trying to send the CMD command and was blocked. Now, this is the type of log that we will see on the machine centrally. I don't believe we had time. If not, we will review it later. For the machine itself, this type of events, you will see them here, like this. And if you are doing centrally for all the endpoints, here it is. Take a moment. You'll be able to see them like this. So if you click on the number 1, basically you'll be able to see that will be my endpoint. Here you can have, I don't know, 5, 10, depending how many endpoints you have in the organization. Now, how you'll be able to allow this application to basically run the command? You just go to device, basically to the profile associated with the device, but for us, just to be sure that we are basically modifying the correct profile. And we are going to heaps. We go into rules. So please remember, heaps, it's about the action. So in order to make changes, you'll need to create a rule for it. You cannot just specify the application is trusted or not. So let's copy directly. I would like to allow any action. So as you can see, run an executable, it's excluded. Let's create this. Always add it on top because they're applied from top to bottom, and save. Now, will take a moment for the update to happen on the device. And let's confirm. Please remember, all the devices usually by default are updated by 5 to 15 minutes. Now I'm trying to speed this up. Okay. Here it is. So we have our application basically will be allowed. Let's see what will be the behavior now. So the same action. Send command. So as you can see right now, the command it's allowed, but as you can see, this command it's under the virtual environment. You see the green border here. Why this is happening? Because right now we have allowed it his as an action, but if you are looking inside of the profile, and 1 second, we are monitoring on the embedded code detection. We are monitoring the CMD. You see it. So that's why basically what happened, the command was transformed into a script based on the second column. And because we are monitoring scripts, the script will run inside of the virtual environment. Now let's confirm this and see the logs. So if we are closing this, you see it. This is the command itself that has run inside of the virtual environment. Now, if we are going sorry, 1 second. And this one, it's ending with 89B. This one. This one, no. Let's do another one. See the example. This is for OneDrive. It was blocked, the first one. OneDrive. Actually, to see a command, here it is. So first one was blocked by the hips, and you will see that because it was blocked by the hips, we'll see the characters, but this one has the actual command. So in order to be able to see why, basically what it's inside of the bat, basically we'll have the actual commands. So if you are going in your platform, in your if you are going here under contain threads in the platform itself, and let's see if we are able to obtain this log. Is the path Paste it. So when you see this path in the logs, basically will mean that this was a command and you look for the parent. In our case, the test application had sent, let's see if we can refresh so I can hover over it. No, it's not allowing me. Okay. No problem. So the important thing is, if you see as the file itself that it's present under this path, you will always know that basically that it's actually a command that was sent by a third party. Now, if we are going back on our device, go to our profile and let's say script analysis. Sorry, CMD. This time we will no longer want that to monitor, let's say, third-party applications that are sending commands. Let's see the behavior that we will encounter. So let's confirm CMD, it's on off. We have this behavior here. In 1 second to update. And let's confirm. CMD, as you can see now, was updated on the device. So we are no longer monitoring commands. Let's see how the application will behave. As you can see, is no longer, so the basically the second, the command itself, hello world with a random number, is no longer present inside of the virtual environment because we are no longer monitoring third-party commands. Now, of course, we are not monitoring commands, but we are still monitoring scripts. So if we are creating a script, let's say this one is ending with WPK-BAT. And as you can see, so it's not something, it's just a message box, nothing special. If you have been able to see it for a second, that was run inside of the virtual environment. Actually, let's confirm this in the logs. You see it? And because was unrecognized. So if you remember, only PE files are sent to our servers to receive a rating. That's why I have used scripts, because they are not sent. So I didn't encounter a person to actually sign scripts. So by default, we'll go inside of the virtual environment. Now, if you see the difference between a command and an actual script is this. A command always from this location. An actual script will have its own name with the actual path. The same thing, if let's say if he had time to update, we should be able to see them centrally here. And of course, if you are clicking on in our case, I have only one device. If you click on the number 1, we'll go to the device itself. And let's clear the cache. So I see a question. Does a device need to have internet connection before it is able to update Windows patches and third-party software? Yes. To reply to the question, please remember when you send a command, so either if you are do like this and just send the command, or if you go like this and you create a procedure or third party, basically the patches, they are not on our side. It's just the API that it's instructed to search the Windows device, Windows Microsoft servers for the Windows devices, and see the basically what patches are available, and they are downloaded from the Microsoft servers. If you have a WSU server, they will be downloaded by from that server if it's caching or not, or they will be able to see what that server will allow to see. So yes, you need to have internet connection before it's able to update. And let's do like this. Now let's go back to our device. So let's see if he had time to see new events. If not, we will review it later. Not yet. Okay, we'll go back to see the events. Right now, only the local events. So that is the main difference between the, let's say, scripts and the commands is the path that will be able to identify. And if you go to that path, you'll be able to see what is the actual command. Later on, the portal will be updated, so we'll be able to see what is inside with the script directly from the portal. Now, let's continue our test. The third option that the third, let's say, event that you can see in the portal will be generated by a web browser. So let me show you. If we are looking, actually, let's go directly to the profile itself. So we have under the containment and rules, the last rule is block pseudo file downloaders, and if it's a web browser. So if we are looking here, as you can see, what are pseudo file downloaders? Bad files, cmd.exe. So to show you an example like this, if we change the name of the app, let's say, and we'll try again, send a command, here it is again, it's blocked. So basically, it's a web browser that is trying to send, in our case, a CMD command. Who is blocking this? In this case, it's containment. And as you can see, well, let me show you. As you can see, my application that now has the name Chrome has blocked, the action was blocked, the containment, by the containment, and he has blocked, in our case, CMD. If this type of logs in the portal, you'll be able to see there with this path. So basically, will ask why CMD, that it's a trusted Microsoft application, was blocked by the containment. You will be able to see this type of logs again under the contain threads. The answer is always look at the parent. So it's not that the CMD it's actually blocked. Is the parent, usually a web browser, will block the here it is. We can see the previous logs. So as you can see right now, you actually see the name of the script from the previous test, and for commands you will be able to see like this. Will be the actual path of the file, and always you'll have the CISTM script for commands. And here it is, an example that I have done earlier. So will be parent Chrome, action blocked, and the actual, in our case, because the CMD it's in pseudo file downloaders, you'll be able to see the CMD path. So these are the three types, the events that you can see under the virtual environment that are not usually associated with an application itself. So if you see a PE file, usually you'll have the application name, you'll have the path, the hash, and has run or not in the virtual environment. Other types like commands, you'll be able to see them like this. Scripts, you'll be able to see them like this. And if basically if a web browser is starting, for example, doing a command, you'll be able to see them like this and with the action blocked. Of course, for every action, because you have the hashes, you'll be able to change the rating. So next time when the same command, because the same command will generate basically the same file hash, will be allowed on all the devices that are under here. Okay, so now that we know, let's change it back. Next, create an ACAR file. We would like to see how the antivirus will, basically what will be the behavior of antivirus. So in this case, let's disable, because we would like to actually be on the device itself. We go to the profile, and we go to associated. So because I'm using a CMD that is starting a PowerShell, I would like that the file created to remain on the device itself, so will not go inside of the virtual environment. So that's why I am just disabling the PowerShell. Take a second. And I believe now it's updated. Here it is. Okay, so I can do the test. Please remember, I'm always updating the profile because to show you how this is done centrally. And if you do any change here locally, will be overwritten by the profile. So Please do not make changes locally on the device because will be written removed approximately after 5 minutes by the profile. So always the profile will be applied. Let's see, do we need to do anything else? Okay, so right now we have I have created just a file, the ACAR. Here it is, you see it, it's present. And now let's interact with this file. Let's see what will happen. Actually, properties of the file itself. You see, once you interacted with the file, in my case, I have just wanted to see the property of the file. The real-time antivirus, because ACAR, it's a signature, has automatically added the file in the quarantine. So please remember, quarantine, it's quarantine, it's on the device itself. It's not centrally. Files that are sent here are based on the signature, will not be sent to our servers in order to receive a rating and see more information. So if to show you this to understand. So if in the containment, basically all these files, if you look on the file rating, I don't have an example now, but and file verdicts, basically will be automatically uploaded. Then on the and you'll be able to see more information on the antivirus now. So let's see this one as an example. For each file that we have a hash and was in our case it is Xcitium rated trusted, you will be able to like this, and you'll be able to see more information about that file. You'll be able to sign in with the same information. This will be the antivirus team that will review the file itself. But a file that has been, let's say, sent in the quarantine by the antivirus will not be automatically submitted to our server because it's based on the signature. If you are unsure and you want to find out more, you just click on submit to Valkerie. Right now I have added .com, so this will not happen because I will not like to submit it multiple times. So that's why it's failing. But each file, if you like to ask to actually upload it to us, you can do like this. And for the antivirus, everything that is happening on the device, you'll be able to see it here under the security status. Security status, block threats, quarantine threats. These are all associated with the antivirus module. So, for example, security status, you see that it's clean because was put in the quarantine. Here we'll be able to start a scan, full scan, depending, stop, update the AVDB. If we are going to block threats, if a file, so if the antivirus was not able to place a file in the quarantine, you will be able to see it here. So even if the file was just stopped, you'll be able to see it here, check the box, and take an action. If actually, if the file is blocked, you select it and send it to the quarantine, you'll be able to change the status from to clean without a full scan. And let's say if this was updated. If not, let's try to clear the cache. Here it is. As you can see, in our case, the file that is present in the quarantine is present here, and I will be able to see how many devices and be able to take a decision. If it's a false positive, please remember, always rate it as trusted before you restore it on the device. If not, it will be placed back. So this is how you'll be able to see centrally um, the files that are automatically quarantined or needs to be quarantined by the product. At the same time, if you are investigating a specific device, you'll be able to see it here, and sure it will be soon will be updated too. Okay, so let's go back. Now, on our test device, let's review what will happen if, let's see, I have a question here. Does the firewall or other rules? So does the firewall or other rules work on a device that only has the communication client without the AAP MDR EDR installed on them? I create a rule for any desk MSI in containment, and it's run on the device that AAP installed, but on the device without it's blocked. So if I will try to answer quickly to this question, and we go back to our test. So a profile, the tabs that are present in the profile. Some tabs are controlling only the communication client. So for example, remote control or control, it's associated with the communication client. So you need to have the communication client installed in order that these settings to be applied. Remote tools the same. Monitors and procedures, again, associated with the communication client. Once you install the security client, then the rules that are present here under antivirus, firewall, HIPS, containment, virus scope will be applied on the device. Some tabs are associated with both, but you will be able to clearly see which one are for the communication client and which one are for the security. So in the end, you can consider the profile as a set of rules, but these rules will be applied only if that specific product is present or not on the device. And of course, in order to manage the security, we'll need to have the communication client installed. I hope this answered the question. If not, please answer again. Okay, let's continue. So if you are going back to, let's go back to our device. The last test that we can do, so understand better where to look basically for this type of events, is what will happen with an application that is running inside of the virtual environment and is trying to communicate outside. So in our case, I will need to make a rule because I'm using a CMD that is starting a PowerShell, and give me 1 second. This is a very broad rule that I'm using only for this test. Perfect, and let's confirm auto action, it's block. All right. Let's go back. Be sure that the endpoint has received this rule. Okay, let's try it now. All right, so it's able to communicate. And what did I forget? Oh, sorry. We like to see it under the virtual environment. 1 second. My bad. Previous. Load it again. And okay, perfect. Also today on the US servers, we are doing, actually right now we are doing a release. So we may encounter a little bit of slowness. Okay, so let's double check now. So right now what I'm trying to show is the behavior of the firewall behavior and how the firewall will be able to automatically block unknown application from communicating outside. Okay, so just to confirm here, in the containment, what it's doing, virtual environment. So an application that is running in virtual environment, by default, it's an application that it's unknown. We don't know about it. Now, that application will not be able to do changes on the real environment. So the changes will be done only in the virtual environment, but we'll be able to see what is not protected. So as you can see, the application will not be able to see it. There is no key here protected, but this section, he will not be able to see it. Everything that is not under this list, the application will be able to see it. So let's say if you have a virus that it's trying to enumerate all the folders, I don't know, on the device, will be able to see all the folders beside these ones, and he will be able, depending what you have on the firewall, be able to communicate outside, because the firewall, the containment, it's created for the user to be able to use the application inside of the virtual environment. So for example, if you have a PDF, you'll be able to open it, to view it, to print it. And if has a payload or a command running commands, these commands run only inside of the virtual environment. So yes, depending what you have specified in the firewall, an application that is running inside of the virtual environment will be able to exfiltrate data. So that's why for the firewall, as you can see, we have save mode. It's able to distinguish between unknown and trusted applications and what will be the default action to block it. So let's confirm this behavior. If we are trying again to connect, let's see now, we are be allowed. Here it is. Do you see that? It's inside of the virtual environment because basically it's a script. You have seen it's a PS1 script, and the automatic action is block request. So the application inside of the virtual environment is not able to connect. Now let's change this and confirm. And we need to wait a little bit for this to update. Not yet. I don't want to wait. Let's see. I see another question. Should I base create a separate profile for these endpoints? So as best practice, always please create profiles. The best way is to create profiles for different departments, different type of endpoints, especially different profiles for servers, because please remember servers have server roles, and the Microsoft guidelines specify that to add exclusions depending on the server role. And do not use the same profile for desktops, because the exclusions, it's the best ways for the servers. So yes, please have different profiles for depending on the case. Try not to do so many profiles, that will be a headache to so if you are going here on the configuration templates, so if you have too many profiles, will be later on hard to manage, because if you make a change, a global change, you will need to do in all the profiles. So it's a little bit to manage regarding the settings. If we are here actually, just to show something, the easiest way to manage exclusions, and when you add an exclusion to be, let's say, available on multiple profiles, so it would be easier to manage, is to use file group variables. So here it is, an example that it's already created. You see, if you can combine under one name multiple paths. So when you actually create a rule, instead of creating, I don't know, 10 rules, you create only one rule. But the same folder, you can add it on multiple devices, on multiple profiles. You can add it on all the profiles that you have here. So if you add a new exclusion in that folder, will be applied, but will be applied in 24 hours, will be updated. If you just created now, will be applying 5 minutes. So that will be easier to manage exclusions in multiple profiles using the file group variables. You can create your own and just add as many as you like entries here when you are making exclusions. Let's go back to our test and let's see if by now was updated. Still drop requests. Let's force it. If it doesn't want to, we can do like this without reboot. So if we are looking on the communication client now, let's see. Each time when it's the server, it's trying to go to the portal, basically it's starting. It's forced to take again the settings. So let's see now if was able to update. Here it is, allow requests. Okay. And if we are doing again our test and is running inside of the virtual environment, as you can see, it's able to communicate outside. So the idea is that depending on what you have in the profile, how you set up the profile, this is how the product will behave on the device. If you enable everything in the profile, if you enable antivirus, if you enable containment, HIPS, firewall, all this security layer together will try to protect the endpoint as much as possible. But please remember, all this security layer has their own management. Basically, they have their own exclusions and they are independent. So in the end, they are interacting in order to secure the endpoint. And let's see if we are able to see this type of events, because we didn't see the firewall events. And I have an echo device. Here they are, do you see? Basically, it has automatically blocked a script because I didn't use an actual application, because why? It's unknown and he's trying to communicate outside. That was the automatic action. And of course, centrally, if we are going centrally, and we are going to it's not yet updated, but you will be able to basically, once it's updated, you'll be able to see them here, and you'll be able to see on how many endpoints. If you click on number 1, we'll be able to go to the list of endpoints that basically the event is associated with. Now, this is in general where to look day by day. So the system will automatically try to automatically upload all the key files. You'll be able to see them here, provide them a rating, and based on that rating, for example, in the firewall case, then they will be able to automatically connect outside, even if it's on block request. For other type of applications, for application that, like in my case, sending commands, sending, creating, I don't know, you start a script, or you try to communicate outside using commands, do a little bit different action. So they are not actually doing this action. They are using charts to do these actions. You will be able to see this type of settings in the portal. And in the portal, for the antivirus, you'll be able to manage it easier using rating. But please remember, the rating, so if you are managing using the rating, will be only for that specific file hash. If the file hash will change, so basically you have multiple files, different hashes, will be difficult to use, basically to manage it, because each time that file will be submitted and receive a rating. So the best way is to, for the antivirus, add an exclusion by name. You will be forced to use the name. Or the containment, the same thing, everything that will have here. So let's say if I would like my bad file to be trusted, only that command, I will just do this. And do you see here? It's trusted by admin rating. Always the admin rating will override the Xcitium rating. But if I will make any change to this script, then we'll have a new hash. I will have a new entry here, and again, we'll have the unrecognized section. So again, if I would like to exclude a specific file that is changing frequently hash, I will need to do an exclusion in the containment. Actually, let's double check one thing. If in our device, actually directly in our profile for the containment, rules. Another thing that I can show you, so that will be the last thing for this session. In the events, for the containment events, we will have this type of events. Let's say the Chrome is starting CMD commands. So as you see it here, and we would like to allow Chrome, let's say, to start CMD commands. The rule that we can do will be the following. So this is how the containment will help you make more specific rules. So the rule that we can do is like this. Containment rules. So we add a rule, an ignore rule for the file. It's already there? No. And this rule will take effect only if, and we need the path. Let's rename it. Sorry. So only if you started, in my case, by my application from.exe. So instead of allowing CMD altogether, I'm just creating a rule that will take an effect only for my application. But of course, right now it's by name. And always, when you are creating a rule, please drag it on top. So once this rule will take effect on the device, in our case, the application will be able to send the CMD commands. Okay. Here it is. So the idea is that when managing day by day the product, it's just you need to know where to go to manage it, basically to manage it easily. I will not take you any more time from your side. So for now, thank you very much for the time and
Thank you, Valentine. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. If there's any final questions, or we can close. And don't forget that we have another session next Wednesday, exactly the same time, which will be the final session in Xcitium trainings. So this is the third one. We'll have the fourth one next Wednesday. I hope to see you there.